Tell you what, our guys, it's two pretty good defensive efforts in a row on the road. You know, they're really a fast-paced team, and you know, for our guys, the way we charted, they had 9 fast break points. Obviously, on here, it's just 5. So, heck of a job getting back in transition and trying to limit them as best as possible. Another thing we talked about was keeping them off the glass, and you know, they had 9 offensive rebounds, and so it was a pretty good job of trying to keep bodies on bodies. You know, we had 20 deflections, so heck of a job trying to be active defensively. Our defensive player of the game was Mikal. He was unbelievable. Ton of deflections, 3 steals, 2 block shots. He was just all over the place defensively, and his level of physicality was really good on that end of the floor. So hats off to our group with a fantastic defensive effort, especially on the road in a big game. It's a cup game. Offensively, you know, I mean, our guys did a fantastic job of snap driving, getting to the paint, and finishing. To have 64 points in the paint, phenomenal. I take my hat off to all our guys for doing that. We only got up 25 threes, but it was evident that our guys took what was available. And then, you know, we were in a little funk in the second half, and we were sending them to the free throw line. One of the things, you know, we talked about, we said, because I think they only had 2 free throws at halftime. So, and, you know, we did a decent job. We got to do better keeping our composure. But we were sending them to the free throw line, and then we turned it over a few too many times. And Cat, if there was one play of the game, it was Cat's effort on the offensive glass. He got 2 huge offensive rebounds just on his effort alone. And the second one he got in the same possession, the second one he got, he kicked the ball out to Jalen, and Jalen hit it, what we call a dagger 3, and they had to take a timeout. From there, we started to roll. So a lot of really good performances individually. Like I said, definitely earned by Mikal and defensive player of the game. But that possession by Cat, with him being relentless on the glass and kicking it out for a dagger 3, that for us jump-started us in the second half.
You guys, I think this is the first game you had Mitch available, but went with him with the second unit. And that starting that you put out there, I think all 5 guys in double figures by halftime, 25-point lead at the half. Just kind of what you saw there to make that decision.
I actually made the decision before Brooklyn, and I just wanted to change it up, switch it up a little bit. Mitch was sick, and so that group went out there, and this group we started. So stayed with it. We'll continue to stay with it to see the direction that it goes. But everything's fluid in this business. You know, anything can happen at any time. Uncle Wood, if somebody goes down, next man's got to stand up, be up. And so all our guys have been really, really good. And I go back to, you know, what our standard is. And the first one is sacrifice. And you know, all these guys can start. So somebody's got to sacrifice. And while you're doing that, you know, the connectivity's there, competitive spirit's there, but more importantly, the belief is there in each other, no matter who's out there in the process. And all our guys have been extremely good with it, of understanding what our standard is and holding each other accountable to our standard.
In that configuration, what works well for Cat when he's playing center, especially offensively? It seems like he's been getting it going.
You know, again, we're able to move him around in a lot of different spots with the way we play. Sometimes he's at the top of the floor, sometimes he's on the side of the floor, sometimes he's in the post, sometimes he's isoing from the nail. And just to try to keep moving him around, whether he's at the 4 or the 5 position, is something that we all are trying to work hard at. And, you know, most of the credit goes to him because he's the one that's, you know, being patient with it. And I talked about one of our standards being belief in each other, but belief in the process is just as big. And he's believed in the process the whole time and just let it kind of unfold until he's found his way. And he's still going to get better. and we'll get better understanding how we can continue to move him around.
After that loss to Orlando, what made you want to switch that lineup down?
I'm a guy that wants to take a look at different things, and I even said this to our staff. At times, if it's the right matchup, I'm not afraid to throw a rookie out there to start. And it's all about being early in the season and trying to get the right feel for your team. And again, hopefully we'll do this all the time, but we're going to do this and then stumble back. And sometimes when you stumble back, it's not just about playing harder or doing this, sometimes maybe switch things up. Take a different look at what you have in front of you and see if that's the right move long term. Who knows? But it's still early in the year.
You talked about Josh being a connector.
Yeah.
When you put him in that lineup with those starters, does it seem like he makes things easier for Jalen, for Kel, for Cat?
And for Mike. Yeah, so he makes things easier for everybody. And I said this, we got a new coach, new system, and you look back, especially at our first 3 losses on the road. I think 2 of those 3 losses, Josh was sitting next to me in 4th. And I'll be the first to say again that that wasn't the right thing to do, because he just does so many great things for us, for our group, and for our coaching staff. And obviously, as time has gone on, we've gotten a better feel for how we want to play him, and he's gotten a better feel too. But again, back then, he obviously could have bitched or complained or threw a fit. He didn't. He understood what sacrifice is, especially as a leader. As a leader, you got to be the first to do all those things, and he didn't. And he continued to believe in the process, even though what I was doing was wrong at the time. And so I take my hat off, like I said, not just to him, but everybody else for continuing to uphold our standard while we're trying to figure this thing out.